Welcome back to the deep dive, where we cut through all the noise and look at the actual source material. Today, we're digging into Kymezol Pain Relief Cream. You've probably seen the ads.
They're everywhere, and the pitch is really compelling.
It is. They bill it as the simple, natural, daily solution for some pretty severe stuff. We're talking burning, tingling, numbness, all that nerve-related discomfort.
Right. And they sell it directly from their website, Kymezol.com. And they really lean into that natural angle. You see ingredients like MSM, arnica, peppermint oil.
Things people have heard of.
Exactly, familiar things. Plus some moisturizing butters.
Wow.
And to top it off, they have this big 60-day satisfaction guarantee right on the homepage.
Okay, so those are some very strong claims, especially for nerve issues. Our whole mission today is to take those promises and, see how they stack up against the independent trust data you pulled for us.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Because the initial data review shows an immediate, pretty serious conflict. Our sources, which use these independent analysis tools, they flag Kymezol.com as a high risk.
A high risk.
A very high risk. It has an extremely low trust score.
And we're not talking like just a little low, are we?
No. The trust index is sitting at about 16.2%.
16%. Wow. I mean, if I saw that number on a site selling, I don't know, a T-shirt, I'd probably close the tab.
Right.
But for a health product, one that's claiming to provide specific nerve relief, that feels, well, catastrophic.
And a huge part of that score comes down to the domain's age. According to the platform, Kymezol.com was created very, very recently.
How recent are we talking?
June 16, 2025.
Wait, June of 2025.
Yeah.
If I saw that date, my first thought would be that it's a typo. Like the company hasn't even launched yet. But if they're already selling this hard now, that newness just completely clashes with the kind of maturity and clinical background you'd expect for something making these kinds of health claims.
That's the core of it. And that brings up the big question. Is this low score just because it's new, or is there a real evidence gap here?
Okay.
I mean, sure, ingredients like arnica and peppermint oil can offer some mild, temporary topical comfort. We know that.
A cooling sensation, maybe.
Exactly. But the website is claiming specific relief for serious nerve issues. That's a whole different level.
So we have to ask the obvious question. Where is the data? The clinical data for the Kymezol formula itself?
It's just not there. It's a total vacuum. We found 0 independent clinical studies tied specifically to Kymezol that could back up the kind of improvement they're describing in the marketing.
So they're just relying on the general reputation of the ingredients?
That's all it is. They're banking on you recognizing arnica and making the leap yourself.
And what about customer testimonials? I mean, outside of their own website?
The trail goes completely cold. We looked for verified consumer reviews on the big sites, like TrustF. A real lack of information. Almost nothing.
What about the Better Business Bureau? Anything there?
We checked. Kymezol is not a BB-accredited business. And again, very few complaints or reviews to be found there either. That just adds to the thin paper trail.
Which feeds right back into that low trust score.
That all connects.
So what's the bottom line here? The product probably exists, right? Like, if you order it, a tube of cream will probably show up at your door.
Oh, most likely, yeah.
But the real issue isn't that it's a scam or you get nothing. The bigger concern is that it performs nowhere near the claims that made you buy it in the first place.
That's it. Exactly. You have this combination of a brand new domain, these really concerningly low trust ratings, and marketing that just, it dramatically overstates what these common ingredients can do.
So buying it carries a pretty big risk.
A very high level of risk.
Yeah.
Both financially and, medically. It's nowhere close to a reliable, clinically backed solution.
Given that whole risk profile, the final recommendation from our source material seems critical. It says anyone even thinking about buying Kymezol should really weigh the need and, most importantly, talk to a doctor first, especially when you're dealing with nerve pain, which needs a proper diagnosis anyway.
Absolutely. And that leaves you with a really important thought to chew on.
What's that?
If a topical cream is being sold using this powerful, almost medical language about nerve relief, how much real, verifiable, independent data should you demand before you even consider buying it? And, where do you draw that line between something that gives a little natural comfort and something that claims true clinical results? That's the tension you really need to think about.